When you hear the word discipline, what comes to mind? Maybe it's a strict routine, a set of rules, or even something that feels a little restrictive. And when we talk about staying disciplined, it's often tied to two things: rewards and punishments. Think about it. We reward ourselves with a treat after a tough workout. We push through work deadlines because we don't want to face consequences. We train ourselves like we're training a dog. Do the thing, get the treat. Don't do it, face the punishment. But what if I told you that real discipline isn't about rewards and punishments at all? What if the goal is to raise our responsibility, find pleasure in the process, and make discipline a part of who we are, without feeling like we need an external push? That's exactly what we're unpacking today. Discipline a bridge, not a burden. Let's start with a little perspective shift. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself into a rigid system. It's about creating a bridge between what you want right now and what you want most. It's about aligning your actions with your deeper values, so your short-term choices naturally lead to long-term fulfillment. The problem? We live in a world of instant gratification. We're bombarded with distractions. Social media, streaming services, that extra slice of cake calling your name from the fridge. And look, none of those things are inherently bad. The real challenge is finding a way to balance immediate pleasure with future rewards, not as a trade-off, but as a seamless integration. Because here's the thing, discipline isn't just about working hard to achieve a goal. It's about how we live. It's how we keep our word. It's how we manage our time. It's even in the smallest actions, like a child sharpening a pencil and immediately tossing the shavings into the bin. That's discipline too. And the best part, it's not about rewards or consequences. It's just who they are. That's where we want to be, where discipline isn't something we force, but something we embody. The myth of external motivation. Now, let's talk about the big mistake most of us make when trying to stay disciplined. We rely too much on external motivation, rewards, praise, deadlines, or even fear of failure to push us forward. But when discipline comes from an external source, it doesn't last. Think about the times you set a goal and told yourself, if I do this for a week, I'll reward myself. Or maybe you stuck to something just because someone was watching. But what happened when the reward was gone? When no one was holding you accountable? Exactly, the discipline faded. True discipline, the kind that lasts, is internal. It's about raising your responsibility, taking initiative, and making discipline feel natural. And the most interesting part? When you internalize discipline, you don't even need external rewards anymore. You start to enjoy the process itself. How to find pleasure in discipline. All right, so if we're not relying on rewards and punishments, how do we make discipline sustainable? We have to find pleasure in the process itself. Think about someone training for a marathon. If all they care about is crossing the finish line, the entire journey feels like suffering. But if they learn to love the morning runs, the fresh air, the feeling of strength growing in their body, suddenly the process itself is enjoyable. The reward isn't some medal at the end, it's the daily experience of getting better. This applies to everything. Want to eat healthier? Instead of seeing it as, I can't have junk food, start finding joy in nourishing your body, in trying new recipes, in feeling more energetic. Want to be more productive? Instead of pushing through with the promise of a reward, start appreciating the small victories, the satisfaction of completing a task, the creativity that flows when you're fully engaged. When we shift the focus from outcomes to experience, discipline stops being a struggle. It becomes part of who we are. The practical guide, 7 ways to internalize discipline. Okay, now let's make this real. Here are 7 ways you can start cultivating discipline without relying on rewards or punishments. Make it yours. Discipline shouldn't be something imposed on you. It should come from what you value. Get clear on your why, what really matters to you. When you connect discipline to your values, it becomes self-sustaining. Break it down. Big goals can feel overwhelming. Instead of aiming for a huge transformation, focus on small daily actions. These micro habits add up over time. Find joy in the process. Look for ways to make discipline enjoyable. Listen to music while you work. Turn workouts into social activities. Gamify your progress. whatever makes the journey fun. Ditch the all or nothing mindset. You don't have to be perfect. If you miss a day, if you slip up, it doesn't mean you failed. What matters is getting back on track without guilt. Trust the habit loop. At first, new habits require effort, but the more you repeat them, the more automatic they become. Over time, you won't need motivation. You'll just do it. Be your own accountability. Instead of depending on external pressure, hold yourself accountable. Journaling, tracking progress, or simply setting intentions can help you stay consistent. Reflect and celebrate progress, not with rewards, but with acknowledgement. Take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Self-reflection reinforces discipline and keeps you motivated. Final thoughts: the sweet spot between structure and freedom. Here's the takeaway. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself into a system of rewards and punishments. It's about creating a structure that supports your freedom. When discipline is internalized, you no longer have to bargain with yourself. You just do the thing. And that's when discipline and pleasure start to coexist. You're not forcing yourself to wake up early. You genuinely enjoy the quiet of the morning. You're not dragging yourself to the gym. You love the way movement makes you feel. You're not grinding through work. You're finding flow and fulfillment in the process. So I challenge you to take a step back and ask yourself, what if discipline wasn't about forcing yourself, but about becoming the kind of person who naturally does what aligns with their values? What if instead of asking, what will I get if I do this, you asked, how can I enjoy doing this? That's where the magic happens.